You need the names?
Can you tilt it at all?
Which way?
What? This now since we're all set up?
I don't.
Because I'd like to get my cable back over there.
Natalie, I just need you to do the toss with Michelle. How long we start then? Okay. So 12:15 will go live. like this, right? 1, 2, 2, 3.
Looking for Michelle's partner.
He's literally coming back. He's right there. Russ, right there. Go ahead.
And yes, Terry's got this one. I'm on the next.
Thank you guys, I appreciate you joining. This is officially the live streaming of the US Open Pop Tennis Nationals. I'm very, very fortunate to have a very famous and well-known and recognized face here from the tennis world, Vince Van Patten. Thank you for joining.
Hey, my pleasure, man. This is, you know, I've been playing paddle. It used to be called paddle tennis.
Yeah.
Now it's pop tennis. And I've been playing this game for 30 years. I was on the tennis circuit before that. And this is one of the greatest games in the world. And where we're playing today at Venice Beach is my favorite place in the world because you have all these courts. You've got this circus of people coming by. You got the ocean right here.
Right.
So this is, and the best players in the world are going to be playing today.
Best players in the world.
Yeah.
So just to talk a little bit about the players, we have at the far end, we've got Russ Garber, a New Yorker. You know, been around for a long, long time.
Yeah.
Unorthodox style, but, you know, gets the job done. We got his
Deceiving too, because he
Very.
doesn't look like, he's not even a tennis player, and he just has this old school hard forehand and just
Yeah.
great reactions and volleys. So he's very impressive.
Extremely, extremely. And then we have Michelle Greco talking about impressive,
Yeah.
#1 women's player in the world at this sport.
Yeah.
She's, you know, definitely brought home a lot of titles, and it looks like she's playing for another one again. She just won the women's final, so she's already got a medal here today.
Yeah, but wait, we got to stop because I've never seen a basketball player ever be good at tennis or paddle tennis in the
Right.
past. And I know all the big stars have tried. It's not a game you jump into. So I have to think that she had some junior tennis, had to do something like that, no?
No, until you watch like the grip that she holds,
Yeah.
very, very unorthodox.
Right.
But the footwork is incredible, and that probably comes from the basketball background. But she's a professional athlete.
Doesn't
She won
matter.
titles.
Doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense how good she is. And I'll tell you why she's actually good. It's because she has topspin. She can do that, and she also her reactions. She doesn't take a big swing.
Yeah.
And in tennis, we take big swings, but you have to shorten them up in paddle tennis, as you know.
Yes.
So watch her. She is a delight to watch.
Unbelievable, great attitude, very aggressive style of play. And then we've got at this end, closest to us, Vince, we've got Daniel Wolf, ex-junior Venezuelan Olympian tennis player.
Yeah.
You know, very new, come onto the scene 3 or 4 years ago, and has just, you know, is obviously an excitement machine and very, very fun to watch.
He is.
Very boisterous as well.
Right,
and
right. He gets very animated out there. You're going to love this guy.
Very much, and his partner is just brings a wealth of experience. So, you know, Natalie Bagby we've got that's joining him, and you know, she just hits a very, very safe ball, very consistent. So they're going to put a lot of pressure
Yeah.
on the other two, and Daniel Wolf's going to try and look to take control.
Yeah, listen, you know, in Venice Beach, and we used to play paddle tennis, now it's pop tennis. All the characters down here love to gamble on these matches. Now, there's no official gambling, but you got Carl Tabor walking around here,
Yeah.
and he's saying, okay, what are the odds? I'll give you 3 to 1. And there's always money being passed around. I'm going to make a little odds here. We've got to make a line for the viewers out there. In your opinion, who's the favorite, and what would the odds be?
Yeah, so I think that's a very, very good point. I think Michelle and Russ will go in as the favourites. They've won it the last, I think, 3 out of the 4 years.
Yeah.
And then Daniel and Natalie, this is their first appearance in the finals and first appearance together.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, that's a very, very close line. I'm going to give the edge to Michelle and Russ just from experience in a final.
Okay.
But I think Daniel and Natalie are.
Okay, I'm gonna get braver than you. All right, forget about close line. I think this is a 4 to 1 maybe 5-1 favorite.
Wow, okay.
So if you want the other way, you'd go get, you'd get 3.5 to 1. But if you want Russ and you want Michelle, the champs, I think you'd have to lay 5 or 6 to 1 in this match. It's going to be very tough to beat this team. They're extremely tough. But anything can happen. Now, they're going to play 2 sets, just 2 sets.
2 sets.
And they split sets, 1-1. They'll play a long tiebreaker,
They'll
right?
play a 10-point tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Yep. And then let's hope it gets to that.
Here
That's
we
what
go.
we want to see.
Here we go. Now look at this.
Michelle's starting off to serve.
And you see they're playing Australian style. Look at Michelle's short stroke. Uh-oh.
Wow, what a point to start off. Wow,
First
look
point.
at this. Fantastic. Great hands by Michelle. They're very familiar with their style of play. They do play out and they're from Venice. So very, very, I guess they're the locals.
Okay, Wolfie. Big return. Nice play. Oh, that's big. Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
Brilliant.
Look at this. What a point.
Wow.
Now, I know we will talk about this a little bit later, but I do believe, Vince, you've got a movie coming out. Is that correct? That's 7
Yes,
Days
my
to
friend.
Vegas?
Thank you, yes.
Yep.
We have 7 Days to Vegas. It's based on a true story about a poker game I had and the crazy bets I made
Wow,
with my
look at
friends. We used to come down here, make all kinds of crazy bets on basketball and this and that. And in the movie, one of the craziest bets I ever make is that I could walk from LA to Las Vegas in 7 days for $1 million.
Wow.
And all these guys bet against me, and they all come to see if I can do it. Richard Roper, famous film critic, loves the movie, and he's raving about it.
That's what I like to see.
So it's
That's
You
awesome.
can get it on Amazon and iTunes now. I recommend it. 7 Days to Vegas. Thanks for letting me share that.
I'll give you a little plug. That's
There you
okay.
go.
We'll get to mine
There's
later.
the hat, there's
There
the
we
hat.
go.
Okay.
Beautiful.
And you were a cricket player.
I was.
A great cricket player.
Very,
Yeah.
very different sport, obviously. Didn't have any tennis background or paddle background, and picked up the sport 5 years ago and haven't looked back since.
You love it. How often do you play
Love it.
down here?
I play often,
Yeah.
at least 3-4 times a week until
Wow.
I got injured and coming back from a severe broken leg, unfortunately. But
Oh.
I participated and
Yes.
competed, so it was fun to be a part of
Yeah.
such a great event.
Okay, so 1-0.
Yep,
Uh,
1-0.
I'm going to call them the top seeds. That is Russ and Michelle. They are up.
Yep.
Like you said, she played on the WNBA and then converted to paddle tennis.
Can you
And
believe that?
That's hard to believe. But she is great. Now, there's another sport going on called pickleball,
Yep.
which is doing really well. People love playing that game. It's similar to this game, but a little different, a little slower because they play with a wiffle ball. That's 15 love. But we love this game. I mean,
We do.
I like this game. If you play it down here, if you come down to Venice Beach or wherever and play pop tennis, I think you'll enjoy it too.
Look, it's a little more tennis traditional. It's
Yeah.
a little faster pace. Well, not a little. It's a lot faster pace.
That's right.
And I mean, look at this environment, right? We're surrounded by a huge audience, and it's Venice, California. It doesn't get much better than that. That's
Oh,
a
it's a
great
beautiful
shot
shot.
down the
Look at
line
that.
by Russ. Yeah.
That is
Wolf looking to be
30-15.
aggressive.
Yeah, well, the great thing about what I love about Venice Beach and playing here is that the courts are all open. There's no backdrops. You get to play your match, jump in the ocean, and there's always a crowd watching and interested. They're always saying, what is this game? And so they jump on too. The courts are always crowded. You don't have to pay a fee.
Yeah.
So it's like a little private club we have here
Exactly.
at Venice Beach.
Yep, exactly. So we've got, what do we got here? We're on,
I think it is
30
40-15. Wow, great
That's
return.
an
by
unbelievable
Rusty.
volley.
And
Very
Wolfie.
deep serve.
It's one game all.
One game all.
Yeah, they're
So Russ to serve now. He's got a very unorthodox serve.
Yes.
You know, there's always some constant talk about the height of the serve, because obviously in pop tennis it needs to be the height of the net. So
Yep.
The release point cannot be higher
Yep.
than the net.
That's right.
But it is a very effective serve, and
Now-
it's moving away from
Exactly.
you as
It's love 15. Now look at Russ, he's playing Australian.
Yep.
He's got Michelle playing the other side, and that gives Michelle the forehand volley,
well. Wow. Look at
That's a
this.
good point.
That's a great point.
and
Her
Rusty
footwork
just
is
moves over there in Australian. It's a good play, especially when you have Michelle has a very good forehand volley, and it's good tactic.
It's a fair point. I mean, if you watch Michelle's footwork at the net,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just incredible how she covers that ball.
Look at that. That overhead was
Yeah.
the Jimmy Connors swing.
Yeah, it was.
No break of the arm. He just, whoa. Big shot by Rusty, up 30-15. And in paddle tennis, in pop tennis, the breaks are so important. You just can't get down a break, and it can happen quickly. It's
Wow.
40-15. And if it does happen, you're stuck, and now you're down a break. It's very tough to come back from a break in this game with two teams that are pretty equal.
Yes, that's very true.
Now this is our 50th anniversary that the court's actually opened here at Venice Beach.
Can you believe
which is pretty
that?
exciting.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got some pioneers of the sport. You know, we'll get to see
Yep.
Scott Friedman a little later.
Yes.
The GOAT, as they call him here,
Yeah.
local Venice. Won every title known to man. So that's going to be
Oh,
exciting
jeez.
to see a lot. That's a great lob.
It's a good lob. I think Rusty could have gotten that. You can't let the ball drop in for a lob in this
Yeah.
game. You might as well go for something crazy. Even if you can half miss it, you're better off because it's impossible to run it back and get back in the point and win it. So he made a strategic error there. I think he had the energy to go back, but he didn't do it.
What do you think, Vince? You think whoever controls the net most of the time is going to win this?
It's a huge thing. All you got to do is get to the net and keep blocking the ball back. It's very tough for them to hit a huge passing shot. However, the biggest thing about it in this game is the net cord. You're going to see a lot of, if you can hit the net and hit the net cord, you got the winner.
Yeah.
I mean, that one pop over you. It's very frustrating to the opponent. And you'll see players do that, and matches are won or lost by the net cord here.
Yeah.
And you see it a lot more often than in tennis, which is interesting.
That's a fair point. And as you mentioned with the breaks before, you know, you're neutralizing the serve because it is underhand,
Yep.
right? So
Yep.
you tend to find like it's much more difficult to be able to break back in, you know, it's a quick set, right?
It's
The
a quick
15,
set.
20-minute sets.
That's right.
Yeah, which is fantastic, but that's what makes it entertaining because every point is just so crucial.
It's pretty
and
amazing.
plays such a major part.
Well, you're right. It's up 2-1. Russ and Michelle Greco, the favorites in this match. They're up 2-1. And yeah, you know, another thing about the let court and bringing up Scotty Freeman, who's a great player, national champion numerous times. And I nicknamed him back in the day the Hitman.
The Hitman.
Because he hits more players on the court than anybody. He'll go right after you. He'll go right for the hip or the chest.
Yep.
And he's got a great accuracy for that.
Yeah.
And it's just part of the game. You go
Well, I
after
mean, look, at the end of the day, it's a much smaller court,
Yep.
so there's less width to work with. So a great tactic is really to play the person.
Yep, it
Right?
is. Yes, it is. Now, Rusty just made a great return there with a lob.
Look at that. Oh, that's fantastic. Great hands.
He made a great. You're going to see Rusty hit a lot of lobs to her because he knows that might be one of his best ploys. There it is again.
Yeah.
You see,
Well, they're
You gotta
also
take a
going to
shot at
pressure.
a lob.
They're going to pressure that net, right? So
Yeah.
that lob is going to be very. I think it's.
if you go back to Wolf, you're probably not going to win the point 9 times out of 10. But if you give the lob to her, you have a shot. And that's
that.
been his tactic so far for Rusty. It's
Yeah.
very interesting. I think that's 30-all.
I think their tactic is definitely going to be to make Natalie play as much as possible.
See if he does it again. No, he doesn't. See, you see, if you go back, Rusty's return isn't all that great. You hit it up high in this game, it's over with.
It is.
You've got to keep things very low, right next to the net cord.
Well, there's just very
Edit.
little room for error with Rusty's return. Because
Now, there you go, net
there's
cord
the
winner.
net. There you go.
It's huge in this game. And that's going to make it deuce. Michelle hit a
Oh,
great
going to-
return.
going
and
to
great
Aussie
pass.
now?
Yep, they're going to Aussie. Wolf takes over the line.
Wow.
Oh, that's a big point.
So good.
Michelle hit a nice shot there,
Yeah.
had a shot. Wolf had quick hands.
Yeah. He's
Beautifully
very
done.
quick on his feet. Moves the court very
Absolutely.
well.
Another thing about this game of pop tennis, too high.
Wow.
That return gets up high, it's over with in this game. But another great thing about playing at Venice Beach and playing pop tennis here is that it's a game of distraction out here.
Yeah.
Now in tennis, you know, somebody moves, they go, what? Stop the point.
Yeah.
Not at Venice Beach at pop tennis. No. People are walking, people are talking. There's
That's
no.
a great shot down the line.
Yeah, that was a beautiful shot. Keep her honest here. So that's
Yeah.
love 15. It's 2-all love 15. So there's no prima donnas here. There's no whining.
No.
You're talking, you're hearing things, you're hearing music. Great, nice.
Oh, there's
overhead.
plenty of whining, Vince. But typically it's on the court, right?
You're right at that.
And we're very
so
fortunate.
true.
I mean, we're trying to do a lot of things with this sport and trying to grow and get the exposure. So this broadcasting is obviously fantastic. Yourself helping out. We've got a lot of sponsors too. I mean, the sponsors have been great. One of them being Michelle's own business, Joyride, in Santa Monica Tours.
And what is Joyride about?
So basically, she's been organising tours and taking everyone around the sites to see like this beautiful place that we live in, which is Venice. And
What does she
obviously
take them
Santa
around
Monica
on a
and-
bicycle?
Yeah,
Bikes?
all on bicycles.
Wow.
And she's become very, very busy, and she's opened up another shop, I believe, as well. And you know, so she's also been a very big sponsor of this event. That's a great shot.
That's very nice. Yeah, Rusty has very quick, fast hands. Not much. Doesn't take the racket back.
Right.
In this game, you just pop it right here, right out here.
So no, we've been very fortunate to get a lot of people behind this game, and you know, one thing that I've been working on with my business too, Vince, you may have heard of it, with Popplaya.
Yeah, tell me.
We are designing and manufacturing the new tennis ball for the sport.
Yeah.
As you know, well, viewers might not know this, but the old way of playing with this tennis ball is you take a needle, believe it or not,
Yes.
you poke the tennis ball to
Yes.
deflate it and take the air out.
Exactly.
Now, as this ball, as this sport evolves, we can't have children running around trying to poke tennis balls. With
Why not?
needles,
This is
right?
Venice.
Yeah, it makes sense.
No, go on, sorry.
So basically, what we're doing is we've been working with manufacturers to make sure that we get a tennis ball that's
Yeah.
non-compromised.
Yeah, how
so
are they
the
going to do
air
that?
is
How are
all
they
out
going
of
to
it.
do that?
It's a lot of
Every
effort.
time
It's been
they're
a
gonna
lot of back and
Squeeze
forth.
it a lot and then
Yeah.
put it in the can? What do you
No.
do?
So we're working directly with the
Good.
manufacturer, and they've got the PSI, which is the pressure square inch, down pat now. So now it's just working on the felt and getting it so as it's consistent and
Great.
it's lasting. But ideally, moving forward, come January,
Yep.
we won't need to ever have to pop a ball again, which is fantastic.
Like it.
Yeah.
Now, I did, a few years back, I had to get some hypodermic needles to pop the ball here
Right.
in pop tennis, and I couldn't get any. People go, what? You know? I actually asked the doctor. He said, no, I'm not giving you a hypodermic needle. He looked at me strangely. But then I went to my doctor buddy down in Florida. He said, yeah. He gave me a whole can of hypodermic needles.
Wow, look at that. Michelle.
That's a beautiful point.
Beautiful shot. There's going to be a lot of great rallies in this game. They're very, very agile.
Yeah.
All of these guys, great hands.
The greatest thing about pop tennis, or one of the greatest things, is also, unlike tennis, where you never see people get that explosive and that animated, in this game you do. And I think the reason is you're intensely close to each other. You're only 10, 15 feet away from it, smacking the ball.
Right.
So it gets very intense, and there's more blow-ups, there's more excitement. It's very, very animated, which is fun. There's the left court winner.
You've called it.
Biggest shot in the game, the left court winner.
It's very
in
tough
pop
because
tennis.
you're pressing at the net
Yeah.
so much more than you would in tennis.
Right.
So that little deviation over the net
Right.
is very, very tough to, to counter with your reflexes.
That's right. Now that's a great return
That's
by
a-
Rusty.
That's a beautiful
Rust
return.
It's down
He let
low,
that rip.
but
Yeah.
only an inch over the net. Just a brilliant shot, and I think it's 15-30, right?
Yeah.
Or 30-40. It might even be 30-40. I'm not sure. And here we go. Let's see if Michelle. Wow.
There she
Oh
goes.
my
Takes it on the
gosh.
full. Such an unorthodox move, but great.
Look, Wolf had possession of the point. He was in the net. She took it to him.
Yeah.
She came in behind that and hit a volley. Just a brilliant shot. Not easy to do.
That's a high risk shot too. It's a swinging volley.
But you
Not
might
an
as well
easy
take a
to
shot,
play.
because if you stay back and try to hit another passing shot when the guy's all over the net,
Yeah.
you're going to lose it 95 times out of 100. If you take a shot and come to the net, you may win the point, just like she just did. So they're up a break, aren't they?
I think they are up a break.
I say that because we don't get the score here, and we don't hear it either. Now there's the lob, beautiful lob,
That's a beautiful lob. Nope.
and that's going to work.
That's a really good lob. If I could say there's any weakness in Michelle's game, and this is really picking and looking for one,
Yeah.
it would be the overhead. So a common tactic has been to, to really make her play those overheads, because
Yes.
she has an unorthodox grip. So
Yes,
it's
she
hard
does.
for her to generate any power on that overhead.
Yeah.
Because at the net, reflexes and movement is just too good.
Yeah, I agree. And you see that the guys are playing that today. They're lobbing the girl. Right after that.
Wow. Oh, that would have been great.
A big point for Rusty and Michelle. They're going back that Aussie style.
Yes.
Michelle's going to take the middle with the forehand volley. Rusty's going to move over there and take the line. Here, let's see what happens. Boom. She gives her the big forehand
Yeah.
volley, middle of the court.
So you got any viewers watching at home today that are plugged in, Vince,
What's that, where?
for watching this live stream? You've got,
Yeah, I hope so, because I went out there telling people we're doing the live stream, and
Yeah.
my wife's, she's an actress on a lot of
Yeah.
different shows, and she has a lot of followers, as we told her group of people. So I hope people that love tennis and love now the game of pop tennis get look at this game and see how exciting is it on TV.
yeah. Well, it's 4 a.m. in Australia.
Yeah.
I know my mum Christine is actually watching back home, so she's tuned in and she's eager, telling all her friends and family. So we're even casting far and wide.
That's great. Now that is
so I believe we're at 35.
40,
and,
30, or
and
40.
what is it? We got 3-2.
3-2, the upper break. See the middle? She got the middle. Now she,
That's that lob.
oh boy.
Oh, wow.
Just out, yeah. So good play tactic. It's going to
Yeah.
be very tough to break.
I think what's going to be key here
It's
is
5-2.
5-2. Okay.
5-2.
I think what's going to be key is they really don't want to give Russ and Michelle that first set. I know it's tough, but you don't want to give two very attacking players momentum.
Yeah.
And I think that's
Too
going to be
late.
tough if they.
Too late. It's already happened. They're at 5-2, and it's rough to come back against that team.
Yeah.
And what's amazing about Rusty, he's from New York, and he's been playing a long time in this game. And like we said, unorthodox tennis strokes, paddle strokes also unorthodox, but great hands. He's not that young.
No.
Now, how old is he? I mean, he's running around like he's 25.
I want to
but
be careful to put this
I
on
think Rusty's about
broadcast, but I think
53.
he's in his 50s,
He's
I
in his
think.
50s.
Yeah.
And you got to respect that.
He's been playing a very long time, but that is the beauty of this sport.
Yes.
You can be 14, who we have a young tennis player, Sahar, on the other court over here, who is 14 years of
14.
age, playing with the #1 doubles player, Austin Derner. They just lost in the semi-final, and I mean, how good is that to see? A 14-year-old child, you know, excelling and competing against the best in the country.
Yep. All right, so Wolf is playing Aussie here. Oh, beautiful shot from Michelle.
Wow. Wow, that is such a good point. I mean, how can you not love this sport? We've got a good crowd here today as well, by the looks of it.
Yes.
Always attracts a lot of people being so close to the boardwalk. You know, but what we're trying to change is have people know what it is and not ask about it.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's where we're trying to get to, right?
It is pop tennis, one of the most exciting sports in the world. And if you love tennis and pickleball, you're going to love this game. And it's like a great secret. I always describe it also as the graveyard of all tennis players. Because, you know, I was on the circuit, top 25 in the world, and there's other great players that come out. And now Brad Gilbert, who's a great player, he's my old doubles partner. He's starting to come out here. 20 years ago, I brought McEnroe and Bjorn Borg out here, and we played some great doubles and singles, and they love the game. It takes a little time for the great tennis players to pick it up, maybe 20 times before they get to be, you know, really top at this game. So there's a little adjustment period.
What do you think the hardest thing is to pick up? Would you say maybe the length of the court?
It's not realizing how you got to keep it all low, how you have to come to the net. It's just the nuance.
Yeah.
When to lob, the feel for it, how to get the serve deep. You have to have a deep serve in this game. You can't serve short. You've got to go 2 feet to the baseline is the best serve you can have. So you got to practice that. So there's little nuance that they just don't know about in the beginning. Look at this. Nice hands by Michelle.
Yeah,
See, that's
really good play.
Quick hands.
Yeah.
Doesn't take the paddle back. That is huge. See, in tennis, you take it back just a little bit, you know, a little bit. But in this, you got to almost just like this, like you're sword fighting.
Yeah, and I think what makes Michelle and Russ so strong is, that's a great lob. Makes them so strong is they both push really hard to the net, and they've both got great hands. So
Yeah.
you're always under pressure. You're
They
always
do.
feeling it.
It's 5-2, I think it's 30 all.
Yeah. This is, they're closing out for the set now. I think this is set point.
Might be set point. Wow.
All right, here is Michelle to close out. Wow.
That's it.
Okay.
That is it. That is, no, it's
Is that the
not.
set?
It might be 45.
45, that's good.
Now, we are not always this ignorant about the score, but we can't hear,
Yeah.
and we can't quite see, so bear with us. Nice deep serve there, and that's it. You hit a good deep serve, it's tough to make a good return. Now it's 40-30.
So the viewers know what's happening more than us. We're just,
They're going, who are those two dummies calling the match? Don't they know the score? Oh, no. That was a great return by
oh
Wolf.
yeah, that's good.
And they almost did. That's the first set,
That's the
6-2.
first set. That's a great first set.
Whoa.
That's lovely to see.
All right, so the line just...
6-3 it was.
6-3?
6-3.
6-3? Okay. So I made the line at 6-1, I believe, before the match
The
started.
money's looking pretty good.
Now it's got it. Now the line goes double. You know, you got 12-1, 13-1. I mean, this is a very tough team to come back against?
I think another unique thing about this sport that people don't necessarily see is they play so many matches.
Yeah.
Okay, so Michelle has already played. This will be her 5th match today.
Yeah.
And it's very fast paced. It's very warm out here.
Yeah. That's right.
And so basically, what I would say is, especially in this final, okay, so whoever wins this is obviously taking it out, the title.
Right.
But I mean, you would think that the energy is going to play a part, right?
Absolutely. Look, they're one set away from taking the title and some money. There's some money to be had here.
There is.
Let's talk about the money they're going to win.
So,
And that we're not going to make.
yeah, that we're not going to make. So here's the thing about the sport, and this is why it's so important to get it out there and get the exposure that it needs. And I know you've been a great advocate for us and helping us with launching and getting this tournament up and running. But it's all of the sponsors. The Vitalite, Rise, Popplaya, my company as well, and a lot of people are putting money into this sport that aren't necessarily getting anything from it, right?
Right.
And that's just purely because of the fact that regardless of it being around for as long as it has,
Right.
it just hasn't gone anywhere, right? And
Right.
we want to